What is up, guys? Welcome back to Froggy Flips. Anthony here. I did an FBA shipment earlier today, and I left a few things out of the shipment because I wanted to do a couple videos about prepping and packing. A lot of people think that that's the hardest part about doing FBA. You know, the hardest part about getting started is because they don't know how to get their items ready for a shipment. So I'm just going to make a few videos with various items to kind of show you what I do. I'm not an expert. I don't work for Amazon. I just have been doing it for a few years now, and I've interpreted things my own way, and so far so good. I've not had any problems. So if what I do helps you, then awesome. If you have any better suggestions, feel free to post those. I'm always willing to learn myself. And also, if you have any ideas about things that you want to see how they're prepped, feel free to post that too. And if that's something I know how to prep, I'd be happy to make a video about it. So today we're going to start with graphing calculators. Definite money makers, pretty prevalent out in the wild. Easy to prep, easy to sell. Pretty much a perfect FBA item. So without further ado. Alright guys, so what I have here is a Texas Instrument TI-84 Plus. This is one of the more popular models that you know, you'll probably find around a lot. When school's starting back up, they usually go for, you know, on the higher end, but they pretty much sell quickly all year long. I'd say an average of $50 to $80, you know, depending on when it is and, you know, what the condition is and everything. But just because of what they are and because they're basically tools, they get pretty dirty. I don't know if you can see all this, but, you know, there's just gunk all over it, all over the front and back. You always want to check the battery compartment too. Make sure it's clean. The screen, you always want to make sure that it's wiped pretty clean. This one's actually not in bad condition. There's some permanent marker, it looks like, where probably like someone got bored in class or something, kind of scribbled on it, so we'll try to clean that off real quick. So normally what I start with is some rubbing alcohol. You always want to be careful with rubbing alcohol. I mean, depending on what the item is, it can do some unwanted damage. Print on things can be taken off by rubbing alcohol, but these are pretty durable. I've never really had a problem with numbers coming off or anything. So we'll start by just getting all this gunk off the cover and off the back. So I just take a microfiber cloth, put a little rubbing alcohol on it, and basically just start scrubbing away until at least most of the gunk comes off. Usually comes off pretty quick. And that's already an improvement right there. There's still a little bit that's being kind of stubborn, so we just go over those places again. There you go. Kind of get your nail in this little groove here. These little grooves like to hold a lot of dirt and dust. So just get it as good as you can. Get the groove. Get the inside, make it as clean as possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you basically want to ship something in the condition that you'd want to receive it. I mean, it's not like they're cheap items. I mean, they are used, but they're definitely not cheap. So people don't want to open up, you know, an $80 calculator and have it be filthy. That just leads to returns, negative feedback, stuff like that. Things you don't want to deal with. So I'd say the cover looks acceptable now. So now let's work on the back here. Same process. Just put some alcohol on your towel. And start wiping it down. Make sure you get these grooves here on the side where the cover slides into. Another place where a lot of dirt builds up, if you can see that right there. A lot of times too, people like to write their names on these with permanent marker. Alcohol usually takes that right off too, so that's no big deal. And I would say this is looking pretty good. Definitely not perfect. You know, you could take a Q-tip and get down here in these grooves, you know, put some alcohol on the Q-tip itself. but I'd say it's coming pretty clean actually. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy with that compared to what it was. Which there's not a lot of dust up here in the USB pockets. And then I also take just a tiny bit of the alcohol and kind of rub it across the screen here. And just get all the fingerprints off, just to make sure it looks clean. Again, use the alcohol at your own risk. I've never had a problem with it, but it can be abrasive. Okay, so now all we're pretty much left with is just these little marker spots here. I'll probably take a Q-tip, just dip it in the alcohol, and see if I can kind of get down in those little hard to reach spots right there. So here's a little bit right here, and just pulling it off. Yeah, that's actually coming right off. Just a little bit down here. Alcohol is good too because it evaporates pretty quickly, so you don't really have to worry about moisture seeping into your electronics. I mean, don't pour alcohol over it, but it's not like dipping it in water or anything, so that's nice. And that pretty much pulled it right off. So just take your towel, get off the excess, kind of get your fingernail down in here, and I would say that's a pretty clean calculator right there. That's one that I'd be okay receiving, so that's one that I'm okay selling. So get everything else out of your way. And next I go with the bubble wrap. Just one 12 by 12 sheet usually does the trick for me. You want to put the bubbles on the inside. You just gotta put the calculator right here in the middle. Fold it over again. And add a little piece of tape, hold it in place. And then what I like to do is fold it in like a present to leave a little extra padding here on the top. And you'll see why here in just a little bit. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold it in like a present and leave a bubble. And that's what it should look like right there. Now, I mean, honestly, you might be okay sticking your FN SKU label on it now in a poly bag and ship it off. I like to overpack a little bit. We all know how Amazon tends to ship their items, and it's not always with the most padding. So I like to protect things while I still can, because once it's in an FBA shipment, it's out of your hands and you have no more control over it. So what I do is I take a little piece of cardboard. I think this one measures 8 by 13. It's just a little piece of a Walmart box, which is pretty much the perfect size. And then I lay the calculator onto it and I start folding it over. And then another hard fold this way. A couple pieces of tape. This way, this way, and then over the top, and over the bottom. Again, this is why I left the bubble on both sides, because I knew that it wouldn't be covered. So even though they're not covered with cardboard, they have extra padding right there, so they're pretty secure. They're pretty safe. There you go, make it as secure as possible. And I mean, that's my package right there. I would now slap the FN SKU label onto it right now, and then what I'm going to do is put it inside a poly bag. I believe this is a 10 by 13 poly bag. And it'll slide in right like that. These have the pre-printed suffocation labels on them. If your bags don't have these, make sure that you get the stickers, which look like this. That right there. But we don't need that because these bags already have it on them. And then these also have the adhesive strips. However, I mean, this is just personal preference. I still like to seal them and then pull off the excess so they're just in there nice and tight and actually sealed. So what I do is I use my impulse sealer, get it in there kind of tight, pop it down, wait a few seconds, and pull up on the side. And now I have a closed bag. And then my FNSQ would be right there. This is closed, it's not opening, it's got lots of protection, and I feel like it's good to go. I've never had a problem doing this. Like I said, I'm not an expert, I just do what I do, and I've tried things and I've learned things, and if it works, it works. You know, if it helps you out, feel free to use it. Alright guys, so that'll do it for this one. Feel free to leave any comments or questions in the comments below. Please like, share, subscribe. You know, if you like these types of videos, I'll keep doing them. If there's anything specific that you want to learn how to prep, feel free to leave that in the comments below. Until next time, see ya.